playing professional baseball. It happened during World War II and was memorialized in the film A League of Their Own.
One tri-state woman wasn't in the movie, but she lived the story in real life. Sports anchor John Popovich recently spent some time with her.
Her back room is now her work room. The cottonwood bark, the knives and the gougers, the project's under construction. The construction is chip by chip.
There's a lot of satisfaction when it makes just the right stroke. You think, ah, man, that's what I hope I could find.
Pat Scott has a bear hunting, a wolf howling, and a bird flying.
You can see where it's been glued and put together, okay?
About 60 years ago, Pat observed a wood carver in Austria. She said, I'm going to do that someday. Some 40 years later, she did. It started with a simple barn. It became a floppy shoe. It turned into an award-winning snail. And fittingly, it included a gripped baseball, which is why we met Pat in the first place. America went to war in 1941. It was a time that Pat was growing up on a farm in Burlington, hoping to someday be a baseball player.
I dreamed of that when I was just old enough to throw a baseball. And Dad said, he said, you really like that, don't you? I said, yeah, I do, Dad.
But baseball was played only by men. Men who were being called into the service. That's when a new league for women was being advertised.
And when he told me he saw that in the paper and I could go for a tryout, whew, you talk about a happy girl. I was the happiest in the country.
The venture, of course, was immortalized more than 20 years ago in the movie A League of Their Own. But here in Walton, not Hollywood, it's the real thing. Pat Scott was a Springfield Sally and a Fort Wayne Daisy. She still has a replica of her skirted uniform. She threw hard. She made friends, and she realized her dream.
Okay, find your name.
By the time the movie revived interest in a forgotten part of American history, Pat was back home, a medical technologist with a baseball field named after her. And now at age 83, Pat's still at work, turning chunks of bark into Santa and already getting started on ornaments to be given to children in hospitals and schools next Christmas. Baseball, it'll always be part of her life. She's a fan, mostly for the Reds. Though as a former player, she's also a critic. Most former players are.
I think I could manage better than some days than somebody does.
We won't mention any names.
No way. Nope. But when a guy's on first base and 3 hours later he's still on first base, there's something wrong.
She knows what she's talking about. Yeah. A nice story by Popo. Baseball is a tradition in Cincinnati, of course, and on Monday night on your side is the place to be for opening day coverage.
Good morning, Tri-State. We'll be live from Great American Ballpark starting at 4:30 a.m. and we will carry the parade live on television, the web, and mobile starting at noon. John Popovich and I will be there, so please join us.
After months of training